Louisiana Beer Reviews, Special Edition, Paulaner Salvator, Double Down. Now, they were saying that on their website. I was looking at the Paulaner website, and they have a video about this beer, and they were pronouncing it Salvator, and they said it comes from Salvator's, like, Holy Father, like Saint and Father, Salvator, and it became Salvator. Okay, but that's how we say it. Anyway, brewed and bottled by Paulaner Brewery, GmbH and Company, KG, Munich, Germany. Brewed in strict accordance with the Bavarian purity law of 1516. And I'm bringing that up because I came home and there was this package on my porch. And they had this stone mug. Well, I guess it's clay, but 500 years, and then Paulaner, 500 years of Bavarian purity law. And they said they sent this to me to celebrate. It's April 23rd, but I'm doing it now. Coming up, the 500th anniversary of this law, which was amended in 1909 to include wheat, malted barley and malted wheat, hops, water, and yeast. And they have this brochure they sent me, Paulaner Hacker Shore. And Paulaner is like this big, huge outfit, okay? It's just like in the United States. And there was a letter here from them saying, Diorano, and most consumers more consumers than ever are rightfully concerned about hidden ingredients in their food. Shouldn't they be just as concerned about hidden ingredients in their favorite alcoholic beverage? I'm sure they should be. And then the brochure is touting all the reasons you should be suspicious of breweries because they add all kind of additives and preservatives. Maybe Anheuser-Busch and SAB Miller and Molson Coors would come back and say, we don't have any additives or preservatives. But I don't know the whole controversy. I know when Miller adds color, and they'll say on the can, caramel color added. But whatever the case, these beers, the Paulaner and Hacker Shore line, and here's the ones we get in America, they do not have anything but water, barley malt, hops, and yeast. And I'm very satisfied with that idea. Here's a book, 300 Beers to Have Before You Die. My daughter bought this for me a few years ago. And there's a page for this beer. And it says, it's a very interesting book, and I've been checking off the beers as I drink them. And it says, Paulaner Salvator, Doppelbock. It's saying 7.5 in the book, but it is 7.9, okay? It's about 8%. It says ale on the bottle, but it's clearly not an ale. It's a lager. A Dunkel Doppelbock lager. Double Bock lager. Okay. These monks established their brewing tradition, and this was their first beer going back to 1634 in Bavaria, Munich, Bavaria. Okay, and it's Paulaner Saint Francis of Paulus in Italy. Okay, they're following him, not Saint Francis of Assisi, but Saint Francis of Paulus. Paulus. Okay, and they're very strict. Let's see, here's the page. They're very strict monks. They celebrate, or they follow the Lenten practice all year long. So all year they eat no meat. They have like a vegan diet. They never wear shoes. They only wear bare feet or sandals, and no matter what the weather is. And they during Lent they eat no solid food. Okay, so they invented this beer so they could have something to keep from, like, falling out. So they were giving the beer away as like almsgiving, and the private breweries complained in Bavaria, which at the time was part of the First Reich, the Holy Roman Empire of the German nation. uh, they were saying they're taking away our business and all of this, giving away beer. And that was a controversy. And then finally they decided to start selling beer in 1780, but they had to let the Prince Regent of Bavaria taste it and approve it, and then they released it for sale. Okay, so I put it in this Heineken glass, and if you research the company, you'll understand why I'm putting it in Heineken glass. Not to mention that I don't have a transparent Paulaner vessel. I do have that. Okay, the monastery was basically seized during the days of the French Revolution, because the French Revolution not only affected France, but it spilled over into Germany, and that's why the Holy Roman Empire was disassembled in 1806, because of the French Revolution. And but after Napoleon was finally defeated, he was like the penultimate leader of the revolution. He was defeated in 1815. They reconstituted the empire, but they decided to not bring back an emperor, but just have what they called the German Confederation, a union of over 35 German states. And Bavaria was elevated to the Kingdom of Bavaria. Okay, so this beer was like so popular, a strong beer. They said they have it in the spring times when they drink it, after the long cold winter. And so yeah, this is a beer that they drink when it starts to warm up. I think they said they call it the spring cure or something. And every year they release it 3 weeks before Easter, and they have like the mayor. These days they don't have a prince anymore. The kingdom was disestablished in 1918 and replaced with a republican government. So they'll have the mayor or maybe the governor of Bavaria who will taste it and approve it, for this year. And it's like a big deal over there, okay? So, Salvator. And it's like they say, it's that caramel color, a darker beer. It's got that bone-colored, or bone-colored, cream-colored, very thick head. Now, bock is a strong lager beer, and they use goat, a bock, as their, as the description, as the animal character for all these beers. And then in Texas they have the Ziegenbock, the billy goat beer. And then there's the Doppelbocks. Above 5.5 to 6%, 6.5, you have the really strong. 7% above is really what a Doppelbock would be. So I don't know why they have this Leinenkugel's Big Butt Doppelbock, which is only 5.7. It's really just a bock. But you get into the Doppelbocks, the original, the Birra Moretti La Rosa, which I did a double down video on. It's such a wonderful beer. And the Eyinger Celebrator, and you have Helles Doppelbocks, the bright ones like Beta Andigator. Okay, so anyway, they sued other beer companies who were using the name. Oh, and here's I had to reshoot the last video because I was showing off my Southern hat, which I've had for years, but I forgot to talk about the beer, basically. Okay, so the Jaguars. All right. So I think it was 1894. They sued the other beer companies, and they got a court ruling said you cannot use Salvator. So then all the other companies came up with stuff with a tor at the end of it, like Celebrator, and so on. Okay, Optimator. There's one from Lowenbrow. I think it's Triumphanator. And I believe there's one from Grolsch, something. We don't get that. It's like, why can't we get all these exotic European beers? I mean, people would buy them, I'm sure. I would. On the website, there's like multiple websites for this beer, okay? But they're saying dark Munich malt and then light Pilsner malt is used in combination. And then the hops are Hallertau, Tradition, Taurus, and Hercules. It's an unfiltered beer, and it gets a very good score on Beer Advocates, so like a B plus. On rate beer, they're saying 93 out of 100 and a 96 out of 100 for the style. So this is a highly touted beer. You can find it around. You may find it in the nice 500 milliliter instead of just a 330 milliliter. It is so. It's strong. I mean, it's so strong, malty brown bread. Okay. If you're used to Miller Lite and Bud Light and Coors Light, you're gonna. And I was thinking about doing a video next door with a guy. I was gonna get him to try it, but those are kind of corny anyway. And he's pretty laid back and cool. But sometimes people be uptight on a video, you know. That's why I don't go and do those on site anymore at restaurants and bars, because people are like, "What are you doing?" And it like, to me, it brings down the whole thing. It's not too relaxed. It's like raisin here. Now the other one, the Hacker Shore Gold, Mina Gold, was like, they said golden raisin. I could see that. This is more like, you know, the dark raisin. And some sweetness and some just all around richness. It's so rich, and like I say, it's unfiltered. But it's not too opaque. It's semi-opaque. Beautiful item. Let's go with the flavor. I need to take a picture of this. I've had it quite a few times before. I mean, it is a punch in the mouth. It is, you know what I mean? This is not mild. If you want something mild and relaxed and easygoing, no, this is really liquid bread. That's what the monks were making. It's chewy. It's got pretty strong IBU. Oh, I forgot to write that down. I think it's it's in this book. It's somewhere around 30, and it tastes like it. So it's got bitterness. It has to be. If they didn't have those high IBUs, you would gag. It'd be so bitter. I mean, so sweet. Just like the La Raza, it's got to have that bitterness or that strong hop note. Let me say it correctly. That strong hop presence, that strong hop utilization to balance out the sweetness. But it may not come along as too bitter. It'll just come along or come at you as tasting strong. Now this author, Roger Protz, he says, yep, Spring Cure, I was right. Rich malt loaf aroma, yeah. Yeasty, bready palate, yeah. And a complex finish rich in sultana-like fruit. I don't know what sultana is, but malt and hops. If I find the idea, I'll post the official number, but I'm pretty sure I remember them saying 30. Oh man, that would be an awesome video. Well, to me it would be. You might say, are you kidding? Another one? To do a blind taste test of Salvator versus Birra Moretti La Raza. I think I could tell them apart, because I think the La Raza, the La Raza tastes more like a red beer than this, and they're both so rich. And also they have a lot of food pairings on their websites, especially the La Raza, the Birra Moretti. They have pages and pages of recipes. Okay, so 500 years of the Reinheitsgebot, going on 400 years of this beauty. It's a winner all around. I appreciate the company sending me stuff, you know, and people will say, yeah, but I mean, they do that so that you'll brag on it. Well, of course, I'm sure they're not sending it to me so I'll say how horrible it is. I mean, that's common sense, really, right? But they're sending me great stuff, so you know, they're saying, oh, here's all this wonderful beer, and it's going to taste good. And I said in the other video, if Minhas sends me stuff, but they're not going to, because, you know, they're not going to do that. Anyway, so, it's got to be 4 out of 5 sugar cubes. I mean, it's sweet. Ooh, it's got to be 3 out of 5 hop cones, so it's intense all the way, and you can pick up a little booze. It almost has yeah, like brandy, you know, that kind of thing, if you know what I'm talking about with brandy. The mouthfeel is heavy. If you're on a diet, this is not a diet beer. If you're a Michelob Ultra drinker, you might pour the thing out. I mean, I don't see you finishing this bottle, especially not finishing a 500 milliliter bottle. All right, so anyway, laissez-les bon ton roulé, awesomeness all around, and I'm going to end this double down by saying y'all come on down to Southeastern Louisiana, Baton Rouge, U.S. Highway 61. Go to Southern University baseball, or if you prefer, softball.